I am currently in Ciudad del Este on a bridge between the border of Brazil and Paraguay. And this place is one of the craziest, busiest places I have been to in South America. So I've only come here just to see what the border is like. I haven't got a passport on me, so I'm hoping that... Hola. Hola. I only started filming now because of the fact this is the quiet time. So yeah, I wanted to start off at the border. There's Brazil over there. That's Paraguay there. And then the river Paraná. So the reason this bridge is so busy, and it is so busy, is because you have Brazilians who will come across, take advantage of the cheap prices in Paraguay, and you'll see them with lots of bags in their hands, and basically they're just going back to sell them in Brazil, or maybe it's Christmas coming up. So obviously I'm walking against the traffic here. I'm the only one because I should be on that side over there, but unfortunately if I go on the other side I need to have my passport, which I ain't got because I'm going back into Paraguay now. And that's only because I met an English couple just walking across. I heard their accents and I went, "Oh, are you English?" "Yep." And he warned us, "Don't go across there because you won't be able to get back in." So I got here yesterday. It is coming up late in the afternoon because it's been cloudy all day. It's been really bad weather. Can't get over the fact how many people there are. Right, I might have to stop filming for now. Right, I'm off the bridge, thank God. That was difficult. And if you're not into crowds, into loud noises, into crazy traffic, this is not the place for you. So this is the customs. They've not even looked at me coming across. And this street, as you come off the bridge through customs, is just shop after shop after shop. And it's just electronics, perfume, cigarettes, alcohol, because as I said, it's cheaper than Brazil, plus it's to do with the taxes. And the guy on the bridge who I stopped went, "Oh, you're English." He went, "Oh, you're older backpacker. I've heard of you." And I was like, "Whoa," and I'm sorry if I didn't get your name. I apologise, but hello to you and your family. So how did this place, which was 80 years ago, just a big, dense forest, become the second biggest city in Paraguay? Because 80 years ago, it was just tree after tree. There was nothing here. Right, find somewhere a bit quieter. So this place is a bit more quiet. I don't have to raise my voice, thank God, before I go into the craziness down there. So, Friendship Bridge, and it's not the friendliest bridge I've been to, leads on to the customs, as I've said. Now, in Brazil, they have a very high tax rate for imported goods, especially when it comes to electronics, branded clothing, etc. Whereas Paraguay doesn't. That's why you get so many coming over just to buy stuff. So as I said, this was all jungle, and the Paraguayan government wanted a route to the Atlantic Ocean by road. So they stripped the forest back. They built a small settlement with a couple of shops, and then the bridge was built. Oh. And that's when the Brazilians started coming across to do a bit of shopping, and then it grew from there. Now if you look at that, I mean, that is traffic going across this way. Oh, I think I should be on the other side. So I actually tried to get an Uber to go from the hostel to here, but he had to drop me off further up. Even the motorbike wouldn't come down this far because he said, I'm not going to get back. Now Forbes, the magazine, put this as the third biggest shopping place in the world after Hong Kong and Miami, which is crazy to think. And it is so many shopping places. And one of the reasons I have come down here, not just to see what it's like, but I need to buy some contact lenses. And I'd rather buy them over here than probably in Brazil, because it will be cheaper. So yeah, I've actually got my last set of contact lenses in right now, so I do need them. So I've come back up towards the Transit Bridge because I've been told that the nearest optician is around here. But you can just see just electronic shops, shoes and perfume. I mean, this is the first shopping mall that you come to as soon as you get off the bridge. Oops. Medical centre, selling medical stuff. Wow. This is a lot quieter in here. So I've come upstairs. And this is like one big massive duty-free shop that you get in an airport. And I've just asked where the contact lenses are. They said second floor, somewhere down here. It is crazy. I didn't have much luck in there at all, and I didn't do much filming because they had Adele full blast. But I found somewhere else to go. And I think I need to cross this road, which is not going to be here, because, oh, crazy. So they reckon there's thousands of people that cross this bridge every single day. And they used to have a really bad reputation for counterfeit goods, but they reckon it's all calmed down now. I mean, look at that traffic. Right, I managed to cross the road.
Hey, amigo.
Hola. Eh? Camera. Camera. You can see down there, loads of people. So, opticians, somewhere this way. Oh, even more traffic. Oh my God. So that is the traffic leaving to go to Brazil, and then this is the traffic all coming into Paraguay. Now this place is not for the faint-hearted if you're not into crowds. So I think I need to come down here. Now today I am wearing a hoodie because it is chilly. In fact, this morning when I went out to get some breakfast food, it was the coldest I've been since Patagonia. Not good. Like that. So I guess this is where you can get some cheap stuff. Sorry, I had a car behind me. Sorry. Oh. This is the craziest place I've been to for a long time. even musical instruments. And when you walk around, you can hear Spanish and Portuguese being spoken everywhere. Now, if I had the money, I would actually go do a bit of shopping. This is a lot quieter. This is my sort of scene. So this market is a bit of a maze. So opticians that said online where it wasn't there. And I found out all it did was sell sunglasses. Let's get back to the craziness. Right, just had another look at the map. There is another one further up. Sausage Road. Now, I do like to check out the historical side of a big city. Look for the old town hall, the cathedral. But because this is such a new city, there isn't really one. And there's a lot of security around here. Now today is a Friday, it's Friday afternoon. And I can only imagine that tomorrow, on a Saturday, on a weekend, this place would be even more crazier, if that is possible. And there's a lot of times I've had to stop filming because of the fact there's music. Oh. Them guys aren't being let through. And you would think that there'd be loads of McDonald's and Burger Kings and Cafe Nero's and everything like that, but that would just be taking the space for making extra money. Further out of the craziness, and I found an opticians. Thank God. That was a lot of hassle. Well, that's annoying. Having travelled for over 10 years around the world and received contact lenses in so many different countries in Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Central America, they won't give me any until I've seen a optician and had a test, even though I know my prescription. But I'll try somewhere else. Welcome to the street of opticians. Well, there's 6 of them all the way along. And I've managed to get some contact lenses. It took a while to get it though, because everyone I tried, they didn't have my prescription. They didn't ask to see anything. And there's a lot of horns being beeped. But that's cost me 46,000, which is, in fact no it's not, it's 460,000. That's better. That is a lot more expensive than what I thought it'd be. It's cheaper, I think, in UK, or about the same price. Damn! It's more my budget gone. So obviously I had to come into one of these electronic shops, especially as I use the DJI Pocket 3 camera, which is one of the best cameras I've ever used. And I've just found out they've got the Pocket 4. Look at the drones. This is my idea of heaven. Now there'll be people out there saying, well, how much is the phones? How much is that? How much cheaper than everything else? I'm not going to bother. But yeah, that's just come out the last couple of weeks. That's the one I use currently. And the price is $614 US. I didn't stay in there too long before I got too jealous of stuff that I can't afford. But I've actually been in, so it was good. Now, because it's coming up to 5 o'clock now, I thought it started getting a bit quieter. Yeah, I don't think so. So I know that it'd be easy for me to go further up to get an Uber motorbike back, but there are still people shopping, still people grabbing all their bargains to take back, and they have a nickname for the Brazilians I do come across, and it's sacoleiros, and it's bag people, because basically they just come over with loads of big bags, do the shopping, and then come back to Brazil. I mean, I would hate to be in a bus stuck in this traffic like that one there, and that's probably why the English couple I saw earlier were going across the border with their backpacks and their little child, because the fact you'd be stuck in the bus for about 2 hours. But this is just a crazy place. So I'm crossing the bridge because obviously this is the way I want to go on the mobile taxi, but look at the queue all the way back, and then heading towards the border. Wow. And coming in is just as bad. So the motorbikes go through any which way they can. They don't care if there's cars in the way. And that was Ciudad del Este, a border city that is just full of shops, and that is all it's famous for. People come here to get the latest TVs, phones, whatever from across the border, but there is also around here a bit of nature, and that is what I'm planning on doing tomorrow. I'm off to some waterfalls, but not the Iguazu Falls. Can't afford them, especially after buying contact lenses. But if you want to see them, then all you got to do is subscribe. If you've enjoyed this little tour of shopping, me trying to get contact lenses, then please like this video. But until the next time, I'm off to find a taxi. Bye bye for now.